What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Hillman here. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who are subscribers, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I know it's been a hot minute since I made a video. Life has been happening, guys. Life has been happening. So I decided to just make this video. It's a little catch-up video. I'm still on Instagram, I'm still on YouTube, I'm still making videos, but it's just a little scanty here and there. But I decided to make this video to just update you guys on what's happening. I'm getting a lot of messages from people from YouTube on Instagram asking questions about medical school and other videos I make and stuff like that. So I love to see the engagement. I love it, I love it, I love it. I've just not had time to post more videos, but I'm doing my best, guys. And 2022 is hopefully going to be different. But this video is basically going to be an update on what has been happening in my life. What I've been up to with medical school, what I've been up to with traveling plans and everything. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start off with rotations. So for those of you who follow me, I'm a 5th year medical student in Maastricht in the Netherlands, and currently doing my clinical rotations. So from the 4th year, so from last year, it's basically been clinical rotations, hospital all day long, 40-hour plus working weeks and stuff like that. I'm in my 5th year now, so I've basically had the surgery rotation, I've had the internal medicine rotation, I've had the obs and gyn rotation, and now I'm currently at pediatrics. And surgery and internal medicine, those were the ghetto. Those didn't treat me well. I feel like it was more or less the people you're working with than the specialty you're working in. Because for me, what I've noticed with rotations in general is people can really make or break your internship. Like the people are nice, you have a great rotation. Like for example, at internal medicine, I concluded with 6 weeks because it's 3 months. I concluded the last 6 weeks at rheumatology. I previously detested rheumatology. I did not like it. I did not see myself being 6 weeks there and actually liking it. But because when I got there, the people were actually nice, they treated you well, they incorporated you in the team, you had the freedom to do everything you wanted to do, you had ward rounds, you had patient consultations, you had emergencies, you had everything you wanted to do. They gave you the space to develop, to grow, and to actually, work on your learning goals. And that for me was really key, because you really feel like you belong, you're part of the team, and you're actually being useful, compared to other rotations where they just toss you around and they make you feel like you're absent, they make you feel like they don't see you there, like you're not present. So I really, for myself, also saw that the people can really make or break your rotation. And man, it's just a plea to all my medics out there, just be nice, man. It doesn't cost that much, just be nice to people, because that can really send someone home, looking forward to the next day, or it could get people to come there every day, constantly dreading every second of the job, or every second of their presence there. So I think that's just one thing I've learned so far during my rotations. The people are important, man. The people can make or break your internship. How do you cope with that? If people are not good, then your internal motivation has to kick in. And also talk to people about what's going on. Share your experience with other people. You never know who else is going through the same thing, but all just suffering in silence. So yeah, man, that's just something I wanted to mention with regards to the update on that. Furthermore, I've done the gynecology rotation, and that I did not expect to be as great as I thought it was. So I currently am thinking, okay, if I was to be a gynecologist, which is actually a real option now, I would really want to specialize in the fertility part of gynecology. So like people with fertility issues and trying to get pregnant and stuff like that. For some reason, I found that very intriguing, and I thought I would have a problem with babies, like delivering babies, C-sections, and actually natural deliveries, but I did not. So I'm like, you know what? I could actually do this gynecology stuff. But yeah, I guess time will tell, guys. I initially wanted to do neurology, neurosurgery. That option was off the table after the surgery rotation because the life just doesn't fit me. So now I'm like, okay, neurology is, I love the brain, I love the anatomy, so I could still do something with the brain in neurology, but I have not had a neurology rotation yet. So I guess with time, we're going to see how that goes. And yeah, who knows? It might be gynecology, it might be neurology, it might be surgery after all. You never know, man. I think with this rotations, it's just a matter of just go through your clinical rotations and see what fits you. Which brings me to my next point, which is just, people trying to already, this rat race which is going on, and constant people pleasing going on in the hospitals. That's something which I struggle with, because I always try to be my authentic self in the hospital and, just let my passion show in what I want to do, or what I'm currently doing. But I feel like there's just the attitude of people pleasing in the hospital where people are always trying to show, act in a way which is pleasing to the person they are they are under, or their supervisor, or the other specialist or the other surgeons. And it's just a thing where you put up this front, you put up this facade, and you're trying to get people to like you or get people to think you're more than you are, smarter than you are. I don't know, that's just something which I struggle with in the hospitals. It's a very people-pleasing environment. It can easily get toxic. It doesn't necessarily always have to be toxic. Sometimes it's just motivating to bring out the best in you because the competition is higher there, and you have their lives at stake, so you have to actually perform and be at your best. But I feel like sometimes it can easily get toxic where people are just doing stuff to please other people. I'm like, that's not the point. Because if you're just doing stuff to please other people, you're not functioning at your best. And that's something I'm struggling with. I'm just trying to find the balance, because I've noticed that with a lot of classmates as well. And I don't know what the balance is here. I don't know if some other people recognize this. Just do well to share your experiences in the comment section. But it's something I've noticed, and it's something I'm still trying to navigate and figure out. I still have a lot of rotations to go. I still have two more years to go. So hopefully maybe by the end of this year, my 5th year, or the end of the 6th year, I don't know, I'm going to have more insight on that. But as of now, I'm still like, okay, that's something I've noticed. How do I navigate it? Not sure yet, but we move. So definitely not trying to be part of it. Trying to take my own steps personally to make sure that I'm still being authentic as much as I'm still having to be in that environment. But yeah, I haven't found the right balance yet, but that's something I'm still working on, and I'll keep you guys updated how that goes. So that was it with regards to the clinical rotations, I think. Be sure to let me know in the comment section if there's anything else you want to know about the clinical rotations so far, and I'll be sure to make a video about that or talk about that in some other platform. So now, yeah, another thing which happened is the podcast. So I started a podcast last year. For those of you who have been following me so far, I started a podcast. It was called the Ox Podcast. And that went on for a while. I have a few episodes out, and then I got approached by a couple of friends of mine to start another podcast. So we started the Offcast, and that's a more Maastricht-centered podcast. That's still going strong. We have really interesting and cool episodes planned out. I'm excited for what 2022 is going to mean for the Offcast. I'm going to leave the links down below here. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channels as well, to stay updated with the episodes we're posting. But we talk about really interesting stuff, but it's mostly for people in Maastricht. But if you're also outside and you're like, hey, you just want to listen to some cool stuff, by all means, be our guest. But so we started the podcast as well, and that has been taking quite some time. Of course, it's a hassle trying to figure out the logistics and trying to, all the editing stuff, and sometimes gets intense. But that's something I'm doing on the side as well, the podcast with my boy Ahmed and Ricardo. We have some really interesting guests who have come on already, and some really cool people we're planning as well to have in the future. So by all means, be sure to subscribe to our podcast channel to stay updated with what we're going to upload. And apart from that, I've also been doing a lot of traveling, guys. So since I started my clinical rotations, I've been traveling a lot. I've been to Italy, I've been to Greece, I've been to Lille in France, I've been to Paris, and then on my way from Paris to Rwanda, I missed the flight in Turkey, so I had to stay in Turkey for 2-3 days. And then when I came back from Rwanda, I went to Ireland for Christmas to family. I've been there 2 years, so that was nice to reconnect with my nephew, my sisters. And then I went to Budapest recently, and then I'm just back from Budapest for like a week now. It's been amazing, guys. It's been it's a passion of mine I never knew I actually had. Just the love for traveling, discovering new cultures, interacting with different people, reconnecting with people, because I come from Cameroon, and a lot of people from Cameroon have traveled to all over the world. So any country I go to, I mostly travel to people or with people. So any country I go to, there's most likely someone there who's willing to accommodate me or just show me around the city and stuff like that, which I think is cool, because you get to reconnect with people, you get to interact with cultures as well in a different way, with a different perspective. I think just traveling as well also gives you a different perspective to a lot of things. I noticed when I travel to different countries, to Budapest, to Ireland and stuff like that, all these countries have their different peculiarities, which when you're coming back to the Netherlands, you really notice that it's a difference. There's a difference in lifestyle. There's a difference in public transportation. There's a difference in what people consider wealth and stuff like that. And these things really, they give you different perspectives, which sometimes make you more grateful with what you have and stuff like that. So I think for me also, traveling it's very enriching, and it is also very calming for me as a person, because I notice when I travel, that's the times when I'm away from all my bugs, my I don't know, my just things that keep me busy. So I get to relax a lot of the times, and that really helps me. So when I come back from traveling, most of the time I'm really refreshed. So I've been doing a lot of traveling. I have a lot of traveling still planned for 2022. So be sure, if you want, I always make highlights of those on Instagram. So if you want to see what, I don't have time to vlog. I don't vlog a lot when I'm traveling because I'm trying to interact and be present. But I do make stories on Instagram, and I always say this is highlights. So if you want to check out, all the places I've been to, what I found interesting, and all that kind of stuff, be sure to head out to my Instagram page and check out my highlights. All of them from Rwanda, Budapest, everything is on there. So go there and have fun. Next thing I want to talk about is just personal development, man. It's been COVID and being indoors and moving from lockdown to not lockdown to lockdown again. It's just a hassle to try and find a balance, especially when you're trying to be intentional with your own personal development. You can sometimes lose track of what is what. But I've noticed I've in the course of the last months paid attention to my my spiritual development, try to be more intentional with my finances, because I'm just financially, it's tricky. I'm not the best person when it comes to finances, so I'm trying to read more books about that, trying to talk to people who are better at managing finances, trying to be intentional with not spending where I don't have to spend. Just working on my finances so that I can get to a place where I want to get to. Because always I was someone who free flowed with finances, and I just want to change that. So I've just been working on my financial life as well, trying to be more intentional with resting. So I'm someone who has a difficulty with resting, so I'm trying to rest more, trying to work on relationships, trying to work on my health, physically and mentally, trying to be intentional with building those mental muscles. Meditating and stuff like that is tough, but I'm trying to make it work. I also started doing cold showers from December, so every day is a cold shower, and it gets really easy because now it's like it's another day. The first few weeks, I would wake up and I would dread taking a shower, but at the same time, after the shower, it felt like you've conquered, you've got through the first challenge of the day, so you're ready to take on the rest. But now it got easier where it's just a matter, okay, you got to take another shower, it's cold, okay, we move. The thing is, I also grew up in Cameroon and I went to boarding school, and we woke up at 4:45 a.m. And we had to take cold showers every day at 4:45 a.m. and it was cold. It was cold outside. Sometimes you had to take the shower outside at 4:45 a.m. So it was kind of like when I came to Europe, I don't know, mentally, you had that switch where, because it's available, your brain cannot imagine, the harsh conditions. Like, what would you put yourself through suffering if you have an easier way out? But I guess it's just the mental training that comes with it. That's sometimes just key, and that's what I love. I just love the fact that you wake up and you're alert because the cold shower wakes you up. The mental training to tell yourself, okay, this is something which you've been through before. Why is this so scary for you to go through it now again? It's just because of the thought of you could have better, or you can have something more comfortable. That's something I constantly try to train my brain to, not be afraid of suffering, because suffering is an integral part of life. But yeah, guys, I've just been working on myself, trying to get to a better place personally as well. Aside all the goals I'm chasing and everything, that has been going on really well. That has been going on cool, and I love the fact that the personal development helps me also work on the rotations and all the other projects I have coming up, which I'm also going to be talking about in more videos coming up. So if you've not subscribed, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the cool stuff and exciting stuff I have coming up in the couple of weeks or months. So yeah, guys, that's more or less been it for the updates, what has been happening in my life. If you have any questions so far, anything you want to know, be sure to let me know in the comment section. I will see if I can answer them or make a separate video about them. And yeah, last but not least, I am currently in quarantine. So I finally got the time to slow down and make videos and everything, because I don't have COVID. I'm infected with the virus. So the virus got me, guys. The virus got me. It got me. So yeah, I'm at home now, currently quarantining. And I think, because when I came up from Budapest almost like 2 weeks ago, I started my pediatrics rotation the Monday after, and every day basically I saw at least 2 COVID patients, so babies who were infected with COVID, and I think that's just where I got COVID from the hospital, and there was like a wave of nurses and doctors who were home because of COVID infections and stuff like that. I think the Omicron variant just spread more rapidly. In terms of symptoms, the first few days I just had like a sore throat, and then when I got tested and I got the results, I don't know if it was a mental thing, But that night, yo, I had malaria a lot of times in Cameroon, and I could feel towards the night hours that the fever was coming like it came when I had malaria as well. Just the fever, the general discomfort, the throat soreness, my chest was aching. I had a running nose, I had like dizziness, I was drowsy, I had a headache somewhat. So the symptoms were there. My taste and everything, smell was still intact. But I noticed those other symptoms came really heavily one night where I couldn't sleep. And then the next day it got better, and it's just been better since then. So now I just have a nose and maybe light cough here and there, but apart from that the symptoms have gone more or less. So it wasn't really hectic in terms of symptoms, just one night, but I did feel that I had COVID. So yeah guys, that's it. Apart from that, I'm doing okay. I don't know, how are you guys doing? Let me know in the comment section if you're how you are doing. If you have any questions and stuff you want to know or things you want to inquire about, be sure to let me know, and be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the interesting stuff I have coming on. But yeah guys, it was nice catching up with you guys, and until next time, stay blessed.